So we'll start kneeling today on our mats. A little 4-point kneel. So hands right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And let's just find some cat and cow. So leading with the tail rounding as we scoop the belly and letting your belly drop as you arch your back. And just do that a few times. Using your breath to guide you. So when you fill your belly, you let it drop down and then exhale all the air out as you scoop and hollow out. Soften at the elbows, so we're not locked out or hyperextended. And then maybe you draw your little circles with the hips, sort of whatever feels right. You can do side to side. And then find yourself in center. Tuck your toes under like you're about to find yourself in a plank. And really push the floor away so we're in our back, so we're not down here. We're lifted. We're just going to 1 inch off the floor. And just hold breathing, like your thigh bones are lifting into your pelvis for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, reset. And roll those back, push the floor away. Use your low belly to gather the knees up into the pelvis. And then a little more weight back to your hips to feel a bit more work in your deep abs. For 5, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. We're gonna do that one more time, but with a little bit extra. So push into the tips of your fingers, push the floor away, hover the knees up. And now from here, right leg, step it back, step it into the hover, left leg. And your goal is to keep everything else really still. So hips don't move, shoulders don't move. And then if this is not feeling right, keep one knee down as you transfer the leg back. Still working a lot of core to balance you out. Let's get 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, open them really wide. Let's find a nice big child's pose. Pushing the floor away as you drop your tail down. And then we'll come up onto your knees. We did this warm up yesterday. So knees maybe slightly wider than your hips. Roll the shoulders down. Now we're just gonna lean laterally to the right, get a big stretch in the left, and to center. Up and over, and back. Just kind of opening up that sideline of our body. We need some movement in the fascia that normally kind of holds us really tight. You can even slide the opposite arm up and slide it down. Notice if you transfer your weight from one knee to the other, or if you could keep square so that you don't lean with the hips. You take your rib cage side to side. Do that 2 more times. And finding the work in your obliques to pull you back up. 1 more each side. And center, interlace your fingers behind your head and really push your head back. So you should feel a stretch in the back of the neck, a little bit of a tuck of the tail. And now we're going to laterally flex to the side and up. So before we had our rotation, now we're finding our flexion. Think of lifting up and then over. Reach your ribs off your hips and over. Draw the head back into the hands so your neck stays right over your spine. Let's get 1 more per side. Last one. Bring it up, arms come down, roll the shoulders out, stand on up. Find your feet in your Pilates V. Pretty narrow to start with. Tuck your seat under, soften the knees as you lift the arms up. Arms come down, head comes down, spine comes down. We're gonna find the floor and walk it right out into a plank. Shoulders under the wrist, just like before we push the floor away. Squeeze your heels and let's rock forward and back. Pointing and flexing at the ankles. And use this time to find your opposition. So as your heels are pulling back, your head is still reaching forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booty up to the sky. Soften the knees and walk your hands back in. We'll roll our spine up to tall. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale to round down. You'll find the floor. Walk it out in your plank. Hold it out there. This time, just allow the heels to separate. We're gonna float the right leg up off the floor. It's just a few inches. And from our left ankle, we go forward and back 4 times. 4, 3, hips are square. 2, 1, switch feet for 4, 3, 2, 1, switch for 3, 2, 1, switch 3, 2, 1, switch 2, 1, 2, 1, just a single on each side. And then knees come down, child's pose. Walk the hands over to the right and let your hips pull to the left. Through center, and other side. And then back to center, find your plank again. Pop your booty up, walk it home. Roll it up. We're gonna get a little heat going in the body. So arms can stay down. 3 counts to roll down. 3, 2, 1. 3 steps of the hands. 3, 2, 1. We're in our plank. We hold. 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. 3, 2, 1. Roll it up slow. 2, 1. Roll it down. 3, 2, 1. Plant. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. Roll it up. We're doing that 3 more times. Still articulating through the spine, even though we're moving a bit quicker. Nailing that plank every time. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. In, roll it up. Last one. We'll stay down when we find it. 3, 2, 1. We're there. Belly is lifting. And now just your right leg, tap it out for 5, 4. Just reaching to the side. 3, 2, 1. Left leg for 5, 4, 3. It's only as big as your hips. Stay still. 2, 1. Right leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep tightening through your belly. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Almost there. 2, 1. Left leg for 2, 1. Just singles for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Full child's pose. Let's roll the arms out a little bit. So just big open and close. You can cross one over and then one under. And the next time the left arm reaches over, keep it over. Slide the left shoulder down as you pull your left arm across. And then release it, right arm comes across. Bring the shoulder down and back. Well, one more time, we're going to stand up before we get into it. So, fix on that. One final time in our plank, for now anyway. Pilates feet, arms up. Round down, walk it out. Then just hold it and breathe. Allow the feet to open up. And we're gonna pivot onto our left hand and open up to the right side. If this doesn't feel right, use your right foot to help lift you up. We hold it for like a second. Center, other side. Center, and another side. Inner thighs are hugging together, and your legs are working just as much as the side of your waist. So get them really strong. We're doing just 2 more per side. Open. One more side. And center, walk your hand in. Once we're down, interlace your fingers behind your back. And allow your arms to start to fall forward over your head. You can soften the knees. Then maybe a little rotate side with the hands to bring the shoulders along. And then keep your arms interlaced. Tuck your tail, start to roll up. As you roll up, lift your chest up, reach the arms down and back. Get that big chest stretch across your chest for 3, 2, and 1. Release it, roll the shoulders down. And then let's lie down. Let's do some Pilates. So we'll start by hugging the knees in, maybe a little rock side to side. First couple, we'll keep our head down. The arms come down. Draw your legs up to the tabletop. Find your belly pulling in and up like it's trying to pull underneath your rib cage. And your booty is heavy. So we're not arching the back, but we're not over-exaggeratingly pressing it down. Find that happy medium. Single leg marching, just the right leg to start with. It lowers down, drag it up, left leg. Your leg stays the exact same shape. It's just moving from the hip crease. And it doesn't have to go to the floor, it goes to where you don't feel like you start to go into your low back. We're gonna add the arms, bring the arms up. And as the right leg goes down, left arm goes back. So essentially, like you're walking, I'm doing the opposite. So if your left leg is low, your left arm is behind you. And then we're just gonna start to let them pass each other in space. Feel your mid-back heavy onto the mat without forcing it down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 legs at tabletop. Arms come down. Now we've got our double leg marching. They both lower together. They lift back up. If you go too low, you'll feel your upper back kind of arch off the mat, so go to where you can keep it connected. If you want to challenge it, as the legs go down, the arms start to reach up. But again, only as far as you keep your connection on the mat. Big inhale, reach. Exhale back in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in, maybe a little rock side to side again. Now we'll start to add our curls. So legs, let's leave them on the floor, but all the way together. Interlace your fingers behind your head. And just have your head up and maybe inch off the floor so you can really cradle it with your hands. So you should have no neck tension. And then start to close your ribs to curl you up and over your breastbone without the hips tucking up. So booty stays heavy and right back down. Think of that closure of your ribs melting down to curl you up. And you're coming up kind of as high as you can get off your shoulders. For me, my upper back is really tight, so I don't get very high. Go to where you feel that work in your belly. And then we're gonna add a little single leg reverse march. So as we curl up, right leg comes to tabletop, but we're still really centered. We don't favor the left and then the other side. Close the ribs and curl, and back. And now let's just pick up the pace a bit. We're up, we're down. Think of using your hands to help pull the head up at an angle behind you so we don't shove it forward. I forgot what I was doing. We're finding length in the upper back. Let's get 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Now bring both legs up to tabletop. And if this gets aggressive, you can always keep one leg down and switch in the air. Otherwise, we'll curl up. Now as we uncurl, both legs lower. Exhale, bring them back up. Inhale. Exhale. Again, go into the range where you don't float your mid and upper back off the mat when your legs lower. We're going to add a little layer on our next one. When the legs are at 90, freeze, stretch, bend, uncurl. Curl, pause, stretch, bend. As you stretch the legs, think of heels going up and booty going down. 3 more like that. 2, 1, and then we're going to add on for the last time. Now as our legs lower, pause, stretch, bend, curl up. Lower, stretch, bend, and up. Let's get 4. 3, 2 more. Last one. And bring it in. Little rock and roll side to side. Whew. We're going to get right into our 100 now that we're sufficiently warmed up. So legs at tabletop. Any point, you can always put them to the floor too if you really want to focus just on your curl. Arms up to the sky like we're on the reformer and we've got our straps in our hands. We've already pushed the carriage out of it. Booty is heavy. Big inhale. Exhale, curl up. See how high you can get. Maybe you even use your legs to get a little bit higher. Let's start our pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Maybe you stretch your legs out if you're feeling it to an angle again where you stay heavy on the mat. Halfway through, maybe your legs get a little bit lower. For every exhale, sink your belly in more. 3 more breaths in. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one in. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it at the top, curl a bit deeper. Bend the knees in, curl deeper. Lower everything down. Extend the legs long. Let's go right to our roll up. Anchor your feet down and sandwich your legs together like they're saran wrapped. Arms up to the sky. Allow your shoulders to anchor down. Inhale, head comes up. Exhale, peel up and kind of hinged up. Sit up tall. Now as we roll down, this first part we're going to hinge. So we keep our back flat just a couple inches, so we're long. We stay long in the front body as we tuck the tail and round back. And right back up. Can soften the knees if you got tightness in your back. And you can always use your legs as a little help. Roll up. Sitting tall. So we hinge first, just a few inches to help keep length. And we stay long in the front body as you roll down. Let's get 3 more. Up and over. Stack up. Hinge. Tuck. Roll. 2 more. Use your full exhale. Inhale to get tall. Exhale to hinge, tuck, and roll back. Last one. Exhale up, sit up tall, and hinge, Scoop the belly. How slow can you go on this one? Get your heels to lengthen forward, so ideally they're not pulling with you. If anything, they're getting longer away from you. Woo, woo. Lower down, arms come down. We're going to our single leg circles. So both feet are flexed and anchored. And now point your right foot. Long line. Hips stay square. So let's start with our hands on our hips so we can feel if there's any movement. And we're going to float our right leg up and back down. We'll just do a little prep first. So we're trying to isolate the leg is the only thing moving. The hip doesn't creep up. And I said this in class yesterday, but generally, when your leg lifts, if your hip lifts, it kind of does the same thing when you're walking. So pretty much every step you take, if your leg lifts and your hip lifts, that's kind of the pattern that keeps happening. So you want to try to eliminate that so that the pelvis and hips stay square, so you don't find yourself with an imbalance. Let's get just 2 more. We'll keep the leg up at the top. Come up into a curl for a second, just check your hips. Naturally, my right hip is really high up, so I gotta use my right waistline and reach the right hip away. And they're both relatively even, so we're not like on a tilting scale. Head can come down. Externally rotate your right leg, and let's cross it over to the left. It goes straight down and then straight up. So it'll never go out to the right. Straight up in line with the hip. Across, down, straight up. And you're leading with the inner thigh. Your left leg is doing even more work by pushing down into the mat to help keep you stable. And here's your breath. It's inhale, exhale to scoop the leg up. Inhale across, exhale, pause. 2 more. At the top, turn out a little bit more. Now we go straight down, still across to the left and up. Whew. If you're getting tight in the hip flexor, use your booty a little bit more. Straight down, across and up. And it's like your abs or your break. Down, across, freeze. Down, across, freeze. For 3, 2, and 1. Hug your right knee in. Reach your left leg a little bit longer. Let's let your left leg cross over your body. Look over your right shoulder. Get a nice spinal twist. And then center, extend the leg back out, glue your legs together, arms come up, inhale head, exhale, peel up, sit tall. Hinge back a few inches, tuck the tail. Now we're gonna go back just halfway, whatever that feels like to you. Should be a spot where you feel the work in your belly and you're really long and lifted. Then we're gonna rotate to the right. Exhale back to center, inhale to twist. Exhale center as you twist. Notice if one leg is a little longer. Just means your hips are going with you for the ride. You want to try to keep them right where they started. So it's your rib cage. And sometimes it's helpful if you actually put your hands on your ribs and feel that sensation of twisting. So it's not just big movement with the arms, it gives you a false sense of range. Let's get 2 more per side. One more per side. Find center and make it slow as you roll all the way down into the mat. Flex the feet, arms come down. Heavy the heels. Now we point to the left toes. Draw the leg up. Resist it down. Use your hands for that feedback from your hips. Notice if the hip creeps up. Or also too, as you lift the left leg, then generally the left hip will kind of tip downwards. So you want to try to find your left obliques to keep the hip in line with the right hip. 3, 2. Let's keep it up on 1. Check yourself out. Try to get the left hip a little bit further. Externally rotate the left leg across, down, straight up. This time it's like a capital letter D, across, down, exhale up. And it's a little accent on the up, down, across. Right leg, push it down more for 4, 3, 2, At the top, see if you can rotate from the thigh bone a little bit more, not just the foot, but the thigh bone. And now we go straight down, across and up. Now it's a reverse, literally down, across and up. If you find yourself really wiggly or wobbly, just make it a little bit smaller, a little bit slower. But essentially, it should feel kind of freeing, like the leg is just floating in the hip socket. 4, even though everything is working really hard to make it look like it's free. 2, 1, hug the knee in, draw it across to your right, look over your left hand. And then back to center, hug the knees in, do a quick little bridge series, then we'll get you off your back. So feet in line with your hips, knees in line with your feet. And depending on your leg length and arm length, you may be able to almost touch your heels, but if you have shorter arms or longer arms, that kind of negates that. So it's wherever your heels are right under your knees. Let the shoulders be heavy. And let's just do 3 articulated bridges. So squeezing from your bottom, peel your hips up 1 bone at a time. Hold your first one. Lengthen the thigh bones forward and pull your heels towards the back of your head. Reach your fingertips a little bit longer. And then on the way down, imagine someone's got a hold of your hips and they're pulling them forward as you roll down. 1 bone at a time. It's kind of nice if you actually grab right at the top of your hips and use that for a bit of feedback. You're trying to reach your waistline a little bit longer as you melt down. We'll do 1 more time, articulating on the way up. Find your best bridge at the top. Hips are square. So just like in our single leg circles, hips aren't going to move as we float the right leg up. Put it down. Left leg. Your arms are there to help. If you want more support, take the arms out a little bit wider. If you want less support, maybe you grab opposite elbows and your hands are behind your head. Just make sure the ribs don't flare out. But focus number 1, that your pelvis and hips stay still. The next time our right leg is lifted, we're going to keep it lifted. So maybe pop your head up and check that your hips are even. And now we're just going to lower our bum, tap the floor, pick it up. We're only doing 1 set of bridging, so we'll kind of make it worth it. This is part 1. If you want to add on, as you lift the hips, the toe taps the floor. Leg comes up as the hips go down. So keep this leg still. If you want a little bit nicer, move it if you want a little more choreography and brain challenge. We got 6. 5, driving through your left heel. 4, 3, 2, we're going to keep it up on 1 to finish. Stretch your leg up, flex your right foot. Little pulses up by pushing into your left heel. We've got 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes down. Massage the spine down, reorganize. And let's do it again. Curl, tuck, and peel up. Find evenness first. Left leg comes up. We lower and lift. Your left leg will start to try to creep in. You want to try to keep it right over your hip. And then if you add on, as the hips go up, the leg goes down. Leg up, hips down. And use your arms, they're there for you. We've got 5, 3, 2, 1. Stretch your left leg up, flex the foot, little pulses up, up. Like if you've got a tray of drinks on your foot, you're trying to keep it parallel, get your drinks to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes down. Massage the spine down, hug the knees in. We'll kind of go out of order, so we'll get you off your back for a bit. So roll yourself up. Before we get to the ab series, we'll get a little spine stretch. The legs extend forward about the width of your mat. Move your bum out of the way and sit up really, really tall. Back of the knees press down. If this is impossible to sit upright because you got tight hamstrings, just bend the knees a bit, wherever you can be really tall. Arms reach forward, and just take a few breaths, trying to get a little bit taller. Booty is going down, crown of your head is being pulled up. Every inhale, your ribs lift up a little bit more, and on your exhale, you wrap your waist in. One more breath. Now inhale, we get even taller. Exhale, start to nod your chin to your chest and reach forward like you're trying to reach past your toes, but your abs are pulling back and you're trying to keep your mid-back behind you. So upper back reaches forward, but mid-back and abs pull back. Stack back up to tall. Inhale for length. Exhale, reach like there's a beach ball in front of you and you're trying to go over it so we don't collapse over the beach ball. We go over the beach ball, but without the shoulders. Plug them back. Let's do that 2 more times slow. We'll add another layer. Notice if your feet have started to drift outward to external rotation or if you can keep them parallel. One more. Up and over that beach ball. Then back up. We're going to bring the arms behind us. Fingertips are facing towards your hips. We're going to push into your arms, push into your hips, and lift up in a reverse plank. Toes reach forward. Then we lower our seat down. Arms come forward. Spine stretch forward. Stack up tall. Arms come back. Hips go up. Booty lowers. Reach. And now let's just pick up the pace. We lift, lower, reach. 3. 2. Make sure the shoulders are rolling back so they're not rounding forward. Last one, find your spine stretch and just hold it there. Reach a little further. Find a little more lift in the waist. And then stack all the way back up to tall. Open your legs wider than your mat now. Open your arms out to a T. They're slightly in front of you, so they're not straight out to a T. Rotate to your right. Come back to center. Inhale left. Exhale center. One more per side before we add on. Your legs don't change, your hips don't change. Now rotate to the left. Flip your back palm to face the ceiling. We're going to dive forward. Cut off your pinky toe with your pinky finger. Stay in your twist as you stack up. Other side, we twist, reach, lift, and center. Twist, dive, up, and center. We'll add a little pulse, so we twist, reach more, and up. Reach, reach more, and up. Let's get 3. 3, 2, 1 more per side. How deep can you rotate? Center, arms reach forward. Draw the legs back together. Sit up tall, hinge, and then tuck it around all the way down to the mat. Now we'll go into our ab series. Hug your knees into your chest. If at any point, if it bothers your neck, do the whole thing with the head down. Or you can always use your hands to support your head. But we'll start with our legs, or holding the back of your legs. Come up into your curl. Use your legs to help you get there. Both hands on your right leg. Right hand, right ankle. Left hand, left knee. Pull your right knee in and reach your left leg super long. And just check out your left foot for a sec. Notice if it's turned out or collapsing in, or if you can keep it really straight. We want to go for parallel. Elbows are soft and switch and hold that stretch. Again, get your foot as parallel as you can. And now let's move it. Switch, switch. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. It's like you're trying to pull your knee into your shoulder and reach your toes through the wall in front of you. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Hug the knees, lower the head. Take one big breath. That was our single leg stretch. Curl up for your double leg stretch. Inhale, arms and legs separate. Exhale, circle the arms, hug the knees in. Inhale, reach away. Circle and hug. And just like in the earlier work with the bridging or the marching, your legs only go as low as you don't arch your back. So it doesn't need to be high. You're going for precision rather than how big you can make it. Let's get 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, lower down. If your neck gets tight at all, turn the head side to side. That was 2 of 5. Use the back of your legs. Help you to curl up, 2 legs up to the sky. Let's grab onto our left leg, either above or below the knee, not right behind the knee because it's just not so nice on those tendons. Lower your right leg down. Use your left leg to get a little higher. There should be no neck tension. And now 2 pulls of your left leg, switch. Pull, 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 pull. Your legs stay as straight as can be. Kind of imagine you got like a popsicle stick tied to the back of your leg, so it's forced to be straight. Maybe that means it doesn't come as close to you, which means you gotta get higher to grab it. And now singles, switch, switch. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Hug it in, lower it down. 2 more. Whew. For your lower lift, you got options. So if your neck is fatiguing, interlace your fingers behind the head and you'll support your head. If your low back is starting to get a little stressed, hands in a little diamond right under your tail. If they're here, you should be able to wiggle your fingers. So they're not under your low back, they're under your bum. Wherever you are, legs at tabletop. Big inhale. Exhale to curl up, get high off your shoulders. If your hands are under your bum, pop the elbows up. 2 legs up. Let's go to parallel today for this one. We inhale, lower down, pause, pull your belly in more, exhale up slow. So as we come up, we're not gonna swing the legs up. We drag them up like they weigh 800 pounds. You can always keep the head down as well. Just make sure your upper back stays anchored down. We've got 3 more before we have a little bonus to finish this one off. Inhale, belly in, exhale up, 2. We're gonna stay down on this one, and we're gonna split the legs so they cross over. You open about hip width, and then wrap your upper inner thighs together. Switch, switch, switch. In your curl or with the head down, either way, hips are stable, pelvis is stable. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend it in. Last one. This one, everyone will have their hands behind the head, but let's use our legs first to curl up. So grab onto them, lift up nice and high. Interlace the fingers. Super slow bicycle twist. Twist to the right and hold. Let your left hip get a bit heavier and try to twist a little bit deeper to the right. Twist to the left, hold. Right hip gets heavier. You get higher off the shoulders. Center, 2 more slow per side. Anchor your opposing hip. Elbows are wide. 1 more slow. And now let's just move it, but we're still keeping the hips still. So if we were on a paddleboard in the water, if we were rocking our hips side to side, we're gonna roll right off. So we're gonna keep our hips grounded and even while our upper body does the twisting. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Arms go long, legs go long, let the ribs open. And then we're gonna get a little rolling like a ball. So grab onto your legs, rock your way up. Fix my mat. So start towards the front of your mat, so you got lots of mat behind you. Heels together, toes apart. You're gonna grab onto the outside of your ankles. Chest is lifted, but your low back is round. And find that spot right behind your sitting bones where you roll back and your feet will hover. And now you use your arms, pushing inwards to your legs, and your legs are pushing outward into your arms. That's gonna help you stay really solid. Look into your belly button and start to slowly tuck your tail. As you round back, you're gonna roll to the tips of your shoulder blades. Exhale back up, pause. Think of sending your booty up to the sky. As you move, so keep moving. If you hear like a flap or a thud, it's because you're not rounding on the low back and you're just kind of flopping forward and back. So the more that as you go up overhead, you really think of sending your booty up and back. I'm not going to demo it, but if you do want it harder, you can bring your elbows to your knees, fingertips to your ears, and you try to keep that connection as you roll back. I'm not going to try because I know it's not going to work for me today. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come onto our knees and then down to our belly. We'll get some extension. Let's start with our hands stacked, one over the other. Glue your legs together. Bring your forehead to your hands. And find the tuck of the tail. So nice exaggerate. So we're not arching the back. We're trying to lengthen it so there's as little compression as possible. Pull your belly up from the mat. And on your next inhale, now lengthen our head forward and pick up our upper back. Exhale to lower it down. So like you're trying to fold right around the back of your shoulder blades. And lower. Sometimes it's helpful if you sort of wrap your hands right around your upper rib cage so you can feel where you're trying to crease. And back down. 3 more. As you come up, notice if you kind of poof your ribs up. If you do, try to gather them in and pull your low belly up. That'll help bring the ribs in. 1 more. Down. I'm gonna go for a quick swim here. So arms will reach forward. As we move, if it starts to get aggressive, put your arms down and just keep the upper body and legs lifted. Otherwise, big inhale. Exhale to float it off the mat. And we're swimming with stick straight arms and legs. Your arms up and down rather than side to the side. So think less of a swim or a weird path of water. Let your shoulders down and breathe for 10, 8. This is your entire back chain of your body working here. We've got 5, 3, 2. Hold on 1, reach a little longer. Lower it down, child's pose. Push back and breathe. Let's find ourselves in a mermaid sit. This is my left shin and knee behind me. Right leg in a little half lotus situation. Open your arms to a T. Reach to the right. Bring your hand down, then your forearm, and lift your left arm up. While you're here, try and reach your left hip a bit further. And the more that you can push the floor away, the deeper stretch you'll get. And back up, we'll take a counter stretch. 2 more like that. Reach, lower, push the floor away. And back up. 1 more. Reach. Push away. And then we're going to plant our hand down. Your knees will stack together. Feet are a little bit further out and away because we're going to lift up right into a side plank. Press up. You can keep the feet stacked or bring your front leg in front of the, or top leg in front of the bottom leg. Make sure your shoulder is right over your wrist. Can always do this down on your forearm as well. Kind of go where it feels best for your body. And we're just holding and breathing. Your head doesn't drop down. It's one line from your head down to your pelvis. Squeeze your inner thighs. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gather the knees in, take that counter stretch again. And one more thing on the side here. So we'll keep our legs together. Right hand kind of where it just was. Maybe a little bit further out. Left hand come to the hip. We're gonna single arm tricep push up. So it may take a couple reps to kind of feel it. Play with how far away your arm is. Your elbow's kind of pointing to your back hip. And find the resistance on the up. Again, you weigh 800 pounds that you push away from. Maybe bring the hand back and push the head back so you don't start to allow the head to come forward. We've got another 6, 5. For your whole body going over in one piece, coming up in one piece. 3, 2, and 1. Other side, set up for your mermaid first. Right shin is back. Square the hips off as best as possible. We reach to the left, hand comes down, forearm. Push your left elbow down to get your right hip a bit heavier. Exhale up, counter stretch. Reach the whole waistline over. And bring the whole waistline back. One more. And over. And then we'll plant the hand down. Thighs stack. Spread your fingertips open. You want your hand, hip, and feet all in that relatively same line. And then we press up into our plank. Whew. So make any adjustments if your shoulder is too far forward or back. Whoa. And breathe. Head right on the spine. Inner thighs hugging in. And you can always bring the top foot forward if you want it a little bit gentler. Let's get 6. 4, ribs and hips getting a little closer together. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. We've got our single arm tricep push up. Head stays on the spine. Maybe use the hand for some feedback of where your head is. And play with the angle and distance of where your arm is in relation to you. Where you feel the most in the tricep. Well, this one is fatiguing way faster than the other one. We've got about 4 more minutes. Oh, let's get 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little counter, up and over. Well, no, I don't come up to standing to finish off. So I'm going to stand on the wood floor. It's better the balance. So if you have somewhere kind of solid, you can stand. Feet pretty close together. Knees are soft. And we'll start by just picking up the left hip or left knee and then put it back. And then the right knee. And I want you to use this opportunity to just notice stuff, right? Like notice as you pick up, does your hip hike up? It won't be probably as dramatic, but it may lift up. I want you to try and keep your hips level with the floor. And see how much maybe you lean as you pick it up. Next time our left leg is lifted, we're gonna keep it lifted. So level your hips out and find a little airplane. So right knee is soft. Reach your arms forward. We're gonna hinge forward. Send your left leg straight back. Now, naturally, your left hip will try to open up. We want to drop it down, so it's looking straight to the floor. Stand on up. Left knee comes back up. So you're using your right glute and right hamstring to bring you up. You can always use a chair or a wall, but see, I already can see that my left hip is wanting to creep up. I've got to really focus to square it off. If it feels easy, slow it down and really focus on both hips looking down to the floor. Should feel lots of work going through your foot and your ankle to stabilize you. This is 4. Inhale, reach. Exhale, up. Again, you roll to your pinky edge or the big toe edge. Just be aware. 2 more. Drive through your right heel. Ooh, last one. And up, shake it out. We'll go back just to kind of level us back out, back to just the legs. Let's bring our arms to genie position and just one leg up and then the other, trying to avoid too much of this or too much of this. And if I were just to see you from the waist up, wouldn't look like you were really doing anything. Let's keep our right leg lifted. Off, arms extend, hinge forward. Take a second to drop the right hip down and stand it up. This is definitely my weaker side. Keep your belly pulling in. That's going to help you with your balance. And the straighter you can reach your right leg back, the more balance it will give you as well. And then, I don't know if you can see me, but the whole time I've been keeping my head up. Don't do that. So allow your head and your eyeballs to go with your spine. And then they come back up with your spine. Four more. It's kind of fun noticing all your imbalances and how much more work needs to be done on the weak side. One more, last one, best one. Whew. Hand back up, shake it out. Back to your mat to finish off. Short and sweet. Let's find our Pilates V. Arms up, ribs up, arms down, head down, spine down. Walk it out for the last time. Let's allow our heels to separate. So there's just maybe about a grapefruit of space between the feet. And we've got little hip dip side to side to finish off. You can do this on your forearms if your wrists are bothering you. But the more that you can push the mat down and your back up, the less you should feel anything in the wrists. Let's get 6. 5. Think of carving out your waist. 4. 3. 2. One more per side. Center. Find your downward dog. Maybe widen your stance or walk your feet in a bit. You can bend the knees to get your chest a little closer to the floor. Take a big breath there, letting your shoulders wrap around your back. Soften the knees, walk your hands in to meet your feet. Hang heavy. Gently shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Kind of lose any tension, maybe shake out the arms, shake out the head. Biggest inhale of your day so far. On your exhale, squeeze your bottom and slowly stack up for 10. 9, you're pressing your pelvis forward. 7. 6, think of pulling your waist behind you. 5. 4, lifting your ribs up and off your waist. 3, shoulders over the hips. 2, head tall on 1. 3, big, really dramatic shoulder rolls to the back. 2, and 1. And done. Whew. I'm gonna pause that.